Did you know your emotions could be silently raising your blood pressure right now? I mean, for many of us, especially if you're over 60, we tend to focus on the usual things, right? Salt, exercise, maybe
The
genetics.
standard checklist.
Exactly. But what if, chronic stress or those anxieties simmering underneath, even anger you're holding on to, what if that's not just feelings?
What if it's physical?
Yes. What if it's actually changing your blood vessels, leading to high blood pressure that sometimes, well, medication doesn't fully touch? Today, we're doing a deep dive into this. It's an area that's often, frankly, overlooked in health discussions.
It really is.
This pretty profound connection between your emotional well-being and your heart health. We're going to explore how these ongoing emotional states literally change how your body functions. And we've got recent research backing this up, stuff that might be that missing piece for understanding hypertension. So by the end of this, you'll really get how your inner world impacts your cardiovascular system.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising, isn't it, how much this gets overlooked, even though the scientific validity is, well, it's undeniable.
Right.
In traditional Eastern medicine, the heart and mind, they've always been seen as deeply connected. For centuries, it's a holistic view, and Western science is now really catching up fast.
That's fascinating.
And what's really key here is that chronic emotional stress, it isn't just a momentary blip, it actively changes how your blood vessels work.
Changes how they work.
Yes, potentially leading to that stubborn high blood pressure, the kind that might not respond just to medication alone.
Okay, so we're definitely not talking about just, getting annoyed in traffic or something temporary like that.
No, much deeper than that.
This sounds like a more insidious, long-term process. How does that actually happen? How does ongoing emotional distress turn into physical changes in the cardiovascular system?
Exactly. It's like a cascade, really.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with ongoing stress or anxiety, maybe emotions you don't express,
Yeah.
your body's fight or flight response, it's basically stuck in the on position.
Ah, okay.
So that triggers a steady drip, drip, drip of stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, the ones.
Right, useful in short bursts, but not all the time.
Precisely. Vital for escaping danger, but when they're elevated day in, day out, they cause your blood vessels to tighten up, your heart to beat faster. It's like keeping your foot pressed on the accelerator constantly, even when you're parked. And this creates, well, a perfect storm, particularly for older adults. Research, like work from Johns Hopkins, shows a key vulnerability as we age.
Which is?
Our blood vessels naturally get less flexible over time. It's just part of aging.
Okay.
Now, you add chronic emotional stress to that mix. It's like throwing gasoline on a fire. It makes hypertension not just a maybe, but a much, much higher risk.
Wow.
And we often miss the specific emotional triggers, don't we? Things like worrying about your grown kids, maybe financial stress, deep grief, or even just that quiet ache of loneliness.
Things we just think of as life.
Exactly. But they aren't just emotional weights.
Yeah.
They are measurable cardiovascular risk factors. There was a study, I think, in the Journal of Clinical Hypertension that found elderly patients with untreated anxiety, get this, were 60% more likely to develop severe hypertension.
60%. Just from anxiety.
Untreated anxiety, yes. So it's not just a feeling, it's a direct physical threat.
That's a really powerful statistic. What about other mental health struggles? Like, does depression fit into this picture too?
Oh, absolutely. It's often a vicious cycle. The emotional weight of managing a chronic condition like high blood pressure itself can worsen depression.
Right, which probably makes the blood pressure harder to manage.
Exactly, which then makes the depression worse. You see the cycle. Research, I believe, in Frontiers in Public Health really highlighted this. Older adults dealing with both depression and high blood pressure, they had significantly worse health outcomes, lower quality of life. So the takeaway is pretty stark. Your chronic stress isn't just stressing you out mentally. It's physically aging your arteries faster. Your body is stuck in that fight or flight state.
So constricted vessels, overworked heart.
Right, and increased inflammation. Over time, that leads to actual structural changes, stiffer arteries that just can't regulate blood flow as well. In traditional Eastern medicine, we've talked about this for ages, blocked emotional energy like chronic stress literally creates stagnation in the body's flow.
Which sounds a lot like what modern science is describing with stiff arteries and inflammation.
It's the same concept, just different language. And we absolutely cannot forget social isolation here. It's a huge emotional stressor for so many adults over 60. Studies show loneliness can raise blood pressure risk as much as things we readily accept, like obesity or diabetes.
Really? As much as obesity?
Yes. It triggers the same damaging hormonal responses. It makes genuine human connection absolutely vital for heart health.
Okay, that paints a concerning picture, but I also hear a glimmer of hope in there.
There definitely is.
Because if chronic negative emotions are so bad for us physically, then surely managing our emotional health must be equally powerful in the other direction for improving blood pressure.
That's the crucial insight.
Maybe, think about it yourself. Are you starting to see any patterns? When do your own blood pressure readings tend to be highest? Is there an emotional component there? So that glimmer of hope really flips the script, doesn't it?
It does.
If negative feelings can harm us, then positive ones.
They must be like potent medicine, right? And this isn't just, feel-good fluff.
No, not at all. It's science.
There was that groundbreaking study, I think, in psychosomatic medicine. It found older adults who regularly felt positive emotions, things like joy, contentment, gratitude. They had significantly lower blood pressure readings.
Measurable differences.
Yeah, differences that could potentially mean needing less medication even.
It's absolutely true. And there's a profound physiological reason for it. When you experience genuine happiness or that deep sense of contentment, your body releases a totally different chemical cocktail. Instead of cortisol.
Exactly. You get endorphins, you get oxytocin, people call it the bonding hormone, and other compounds that actually relax your blood vessels. They slow your heart rate down. It's almost like giving your cardiovascular system a gentle healing massage from the inside out.
A healing massage from the inside. I like that image.
I remember a patient, Margaret, 68 years old, really stubborn high blood pressure, always around 160 over 95. Medication wasn't helping much. And talking to her, I found out she'd become quite isolated while caring for her husband, who had dementia. So we focused not just on diet or exercise, but on reconnecting her with something that genuinely brought her joy. For her, it was gardening. Just 30 minutes a day in her little herb garden. Within 6 weeks, her blood pressure dropped down to 140 over 85.
Wow, just from gardening.
Well, it wasn't just the physical activity, though, that helped. It was the emotional medicine, those daily moments of peace, accomplishment, connection with nature.
Margaret's story is such a beautiful example of that emotional medicine. Are there other positive prescriptions you've seen work well?
Oh, definitely. The laughter prescription, for one, is very real.
Laughter?
Yes. Deep, hearty laughter can immediately lower blood pressure, and the effect can actually last for up to 24 hours.
How does that work?
When you laugh like that, really belly laugh, your blood vessels expand and contract in a healthy rhythm. It improves circulation, reduces pressure. It's like internal aerobics for your blood vessels.
Okay. And you mentioned gratitude earlier.
Yes, gratitude is incredibly powerful. Research, I think, from the University of California showed that older adults who simply kept a daily gratitude journal, just writing down a few things they were thankful for.
For how long?
Just 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they showed significant improvements in both blood pressure and their sleep quality.
2 weeks? That's fast.
It is. The act of consciously focusing on the positive seems to literally rewire the body's stress response patterns, like hitting a mental reset button.
Rewiring the stress response.
And if we zoom out a bit, that feeling of belonging, of connection, incredibly potent. Feeling genuinely connected to others releases oxytocin.
The bonding hormone again.
Exactly. And oxytocin directly lowers blood pressure and reduces inflammation. This is where, ancient wisdom and modern science really shake hands. Practices like mindfulness meditation.
Which have been around forever in Eastern tradition.
For generations. And now, studies in places like the American Heart Association journals show meditation can reduce blood pressure by, say, 8 to 10 points in older adults, often in just 8 weeks. But here's the key insight, I think. The goal isn't to somehow eliminate all negative emotions. That's not realistic or even healthy.
Right. Life happens.
Life happens. The goal is balance. It's about actively cultivating moments of genuine positive emotion throughout your day. Think of it like emotional nutrition for your heart.
Emotional nutrition. I really like that analogy. It suggests that just like we need balanced food, we need balanced feelings. Are there specific emotional superfoods maybe that are particularly good for cardiovascular health?
Absolutely. And the great news is they don't have to be huge, dramatic things. Simple, everyday practices can trigger those positive emotions that benefit your blood pressure.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Okay, well, things like just taking a few minutes to watch the birds outside your window. Making a quick call to a friend who always makes you laugh.
Simple stuff.
Really simple. Listening to music that really moves you. Or even just practicing some deep breathing while consciously thinking about something you feel grateful for. These aren't just nice-to-do things. They are acting like medicine for your system.
So treat them like medicine.
Yes. And the timing is interesting too. Research suggests that experiencing positive emotions regularly, in small bursts, is often more beneficial than having intense joy only once in a while.
Consistency over intensity again.
Exactly. 5 minutes of genuine contentment every day. Often more effective for long-term blood pressure regulation than, say, one amazing hour of joy once a week.
That makes a lot of sense. Small, steady inputs. So, okay, beyond these daily emotional superfoods, what about more structured techniques? Natural ways people can regulate their emotions to help manage blood pressure.
Excellent question.
Yeah.
There are some really effective practical tools. One powerful one, rooted in ancient practices, is called 4-7-8 breathing.
Okay, 4-7-8. How does that work?
It's simple. You inhale quietly through your nose for a count of 4. Then you hold your breath gently for a count of 7. And then you exhale slowly and completely through your mouth, making a gentle whoosh sound for a count of 8.
Inhale 4, hold 7, exhale 8.
That's it. And this isn't just about feeling relaxed. It actually helps reset your nervous system almost immediately. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, that's your body's natural rest and digest or calm down system.
So it directly counters the stress response.
Yes, it can literally lower blood pressure within minutes of doing it for just a few cycles.
Wow. Okay, that's very direct. What else?
Then there's the idea of emotional release through movement, but maybe not always the intense Western exercise model. Think more gentle flowing movements like Tai Chi.
Right, Tai Chi.
It helps release that emotional tension that we often hold physically in our bodies. There was a Harvard study actually that found adults over 60 practicing Tai Chi just 3 times a week for 12 weeks. They lowered their systolic blood pressure by an average of 15 points.
So 15 points, that's significant.
Very significant.
Yeah.
And even simple stretching, if you do it consciously, breathing into the tight spots. They can help release those knots of worry in your shoulders or the tension in your jaw. Releasing that stored emotional energy helps lower pressure.
Okay, movement. What about writing things down? Does journaling help?
Yes, but a specific kind of journaling can be very effective. I often guide patients to spend maybe 5 minutes each evening. First, write down maybe 3 things that felt emotionally challenging that day. Just acknowledge them.
Okay.
But then immediately follow that by writing down 3 things, even tiny things, that brought a moment of peace or joy or gratitude.
Balancing the negative with the positive.
Exactly. It's active emotional processing. Research, I think, in the Journal of Health Psychology showed this kind of balanced journaling could reduce systolic blood pressure by maybe 6 to 8 points in just a month.
That's impressive for just writing.
It is. It helps you regulate instead of just stewing. Now, coming from my traditional medicine background, sometimes gentle herbal support can be useful too.
Like what kind of herbs?
Hawthorn berry is a classic one. It's been used for centuries for both the heart and, interestingly, for emotional balance. Modern research seems to support its ability to help regulate blood pressure and also ease anxiety.
Hawthorn.
But, and this is really crucial, you always need to talk to your doctor or healthcare provider before adding any herbs, especially if you're already on blood pressure medication. These are complementary tools, not replacements.
Right. Very important disclaimer. Don't self-prescribe.
Absolutely not. And let's circle back quickly to social connection. We know isolation is bad. So the prescription here is sometimes just focus on one meaningful connection. Don't feel like you have to rebuild your entire social life overnight.
Makes sense. Less overwhelming.
Much less. Maybe it's just a weekly phone call with a specific family member you enjoy talking to, or joining one activity at a senior center, or volunteering for just an hour a week. That focused connection provides real emotional nourishment.
Okay, one connection. What about sleep? We know it's important generally.
Hugely important for emotional regulation and therefore blood pressure. Poor sleep messes with your emotions, makes you more reactive, and directly raises blood pressure.
So improving sleep helps BP.
Definitely. Eastern medicine often focuses on evening routines to calm the mind and body. Things like avoiding stressful news before bed, making sure your bedroom is cool and dark, maybe some gentle meditation or prayer. Studies show improving sleep quality alone can lower BP by 5, even 10 points.
Wow. Sleep hygiene is serious business for blood pressure.
It really is. Then there's nature therapy, sometimes called forest bathing.
Forest bathing.
Yeah, it sounds a bit whimsical, but the science is there. A Japanese study found just sitting quietly in a natural setting, like a park or woods, for 20 minutes. It lowered blood pressure and stress hormones, and the effects lasted. Even just having a view of trees from your window helps.
So get outside if you can.
Or bring some nature inside. And quickly, nutrition definitely plays a role in mood stability, which connects back to BP. Omega-3s from walnuts or fatty from are good for brain chemistry. Magnesium from leafy greens, avocados, helps relax blood vessels and nerves.
And dark chocolate. I hear that sometimes.
Yes. In moderation, dark chocolate has compounds that can boost mood and support healthy blood pressure. A little bit can be good. And for many people, prayer or meditation is a cornerstone.
You mentioned meditation earlier.
Right. Whether it's religious prayer or secular meditation, that regular practice of quieting the mind shows consistent benefits. A study in the International Journal of Cardiology found daily practitioners had blood pressure averaging 8 points lower.
8 points is significant.
It is. Finally, one really practical tip. Create a personal emotional first aid kit.
Like a real kit.
Sort of. Just like you have Band-Aids for cuts, have tools ready for emotional bumps, maybe a playlist of calming music on your phone, photos that bring you instant joy, a short list of people you can call for support, even a small comfort object.
So when stress hits, you have something ready immediately.
Exactly. It helps you intervene quickly before that stress response fully takes over and spikes your pressure. And through all of these, remember that consistency principle. Small, regular efforts add up. They train your nervous system over time. That's more effective than big, infrequent bursts.
That's an amazing toolkit, really practical advice there. From all of those, what stands out to you as maybe the easiest, most accessible starting point for someone listening who's just starting to grasp this mind-heart connection?
You know, it's truly incredible when you see it happen. The kind of beautiful transformation that occurs when people really start to embrace this connection between their heart and their mind.
Managing high blood pressure, especially after 60, it really isn't just about the pills or the low-salt diet, though obviously those things are vital.
Absolutely. Foundational.
But it's also about honoring this deep link between how you feel and how your body is actually functioning. When you start taking your emotional health as seriously as your physical health, well, remarkable things can happen.
They really can.
I'm thinking of a client, Robert. He was 72, really felt like his best years were gone. His blood pressure just kept creeping up despite the meds. He was anxious, pretty discouraged.
A common story, unfortunately.
Yeah. But when we started working together, focusing on both his emotional well-being and the physical stuff, using some of these natural approaches we've talked about, something just shifted. Within about 3 months, not only did his blood pressure finally stabilize,
That's fantastic.
but he said he felt more like himself than he had in years. He actually started painting again, something he'd loved but gave up when all the health worries kind of took over.
Well, that's wonderful.
That's what's possible, you know? Like, when you treat the whole person, not just the blood pressure reading.
Robert's story really captures it, doesn't it? It embodies this core message. The techniques we've shared today, whether it's the simple 4-7-8 breathing, or spending a bit of time in nature, nurturing those connections, practicing gratitude. They're rooted in both, ancient wisdom and solid modern science.
Right. It's not one or the other.
Not at all. And please, I have to reiterate, always work with your healthcare provider. These approaches are meant to complement your medical treatment, not replace it.
Crucial point.
Definitely. And I actually encourage you listening. Share what you're learning about this emotional side of things with your doctor. Many physicians now are much more open to and aware of the importance of addressing both the emotional and physical factors in managing hypertension.
Good advice.
Which raises an important point too. Can you be patient with yourself? Yeah. And gentle. Creating new emotional habits, just like physical ones, takes time.
It's not an overnight fix.
No. Start small, pick one thing that resonates, maybe the breathing technique, maybe a daily gratitude moment, and just build from there. Self-compassion is key.
Absolutely. This journey to better health, it really isn't just about lowering a number on a cuff, is it? It's about reclaiming your sense of well-being, your vitality,
Exactly.
quality of life.
So what does this all mean for you listening? It means every choice you make to deal with emotional stress in a healthy way, every time you actively cultivate a moment of joy or reach out to connect, you're taking powerful steps toward better heart health.
Active steps.
Your heart, both literally and figuratively, it really deserves that kind of caring attention.